Compound interest, a great investment strategy that can accelerate your investing. Hi, my name is Mark DeBoer. I'm a mortgage broker and financial literacy coach, and let's dissect compound interest and how it can benefit you. So, compound interest allows you to invest a sum of money that will grow into a much larger amount. And how does this work? Is you will earn a return or interest on your original principal, plus over time you will earn interest on the interest or return your investment generates. And I'm going to show you a graph on how this works, and it will show you how the acceleration happens on this return. So if we look here, we have a graph, and what we have here is you're investing $1,000. It's only a one-time investment. The blue doesn't mean you're investing $1,000 every year. It's just the initial investment that you've put in. You've put in $1,000. Then this investment has a 6% annual return. So if you look at the chart here below, I've dissected a little bit further where you have $1,000 that you invested, 6% return means you have $60,000. So at the end of 1 year, you have 1,060. And now that 6% is not calculated on the $1,000, but it's calculated on the 1,060. And so the following year, your interest will increase. You will see now it's 6,360 instead of 60. And the amount that you have at the end of the year again is larger, 1,123. And the 6% then is applied to this 1,123. And again, your interest rate increases again. Now, if you do this for 30 years, you can see how that interest is much larger over time. And so it keeps accelerating or compounding. And so now your $1,000 investment invested over 30 years at 6% annually now has a value of just a little under $6,000. So you have here the interest, that yellow represents the interest that has been earned, and the blue is the original investment, the $1,000. Now it's really important that you reinvest it, because if you didn't reinvest the $60 or leave it with the investment, then the compounding wouldn't happen and the $1,000 would stay the same because you've taken the return out of the investment. So whether this is, a static investment where you receive a 6%, or it could be a mutual fund or any kinds of stocks where there's reinvestment, it always has to reinvest in order for compounding to work. So just remember that you have to let the investment reinvest in itself for the compounding to work, and it works beautifully. Now, another benefit of compounding interest is time. Now, here we have two investors. We have one that starts at 25 and one that starts at 35. And one sets aside $5,000 a year for 10 years, and this one does 5,000 each for 30 years. Now, you can see how time has an influence on it and how one puts in less than another. And the reason is the compounding has started much earlier. And so this doubling effect is going to happen much sooner when you start earlier. So yes, the key is to start earlier. And I hope maybe if you're a parent or a grandparent watching this, that you can also maybe help your children or grandchildren start this process sooner. Now, you may ask, well, exactly how does this doubling effect work? Well, there's something called the Rule of 72, which is a really neat rule to help you kind of simplify it. And what we've done here is I've broken down into different interest rates, and then it represents different years. So if you receive a 12% interest rate, it will take 6 years for your investment to double. If you have a 6%, it will take 12 years, and 2% is 36 years. So this gives you a general idea, if you're receiving a rate of return, how long it will take for your money to double. Now, it's just a general idea, but it's a really cool calculator to help you, give a general idea of your rate of return. It's called the Rule of 72. Maybe you've heard of it before or not, but it's a cool calculator to remember. So there is a saying where it says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Well, the same can be for compounding interest. Start when you are young, since time is one of the top contributors to factor into compounding. However, you can still benefit when you are older. It's better than doing nothing. And besides starting, share with others, teach it to your children and grandchildren, or even gift it to them by investing it and giving them a head start on compounding interest. So Albert Einstein, it's been credited to him that he has said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pay it. And it's really important to understand that when you're investing money and it's compounding to your benefit, you are earning it. But if you are borrowing and there's compound interest, you are paying it. And we will go through what that means to pay it, or when, for example, with mortgages, there's a compounding interest. But for now, we're just talking about saving and investing it and the wonders of it. And just remember, especially this graph where you can see how it compounds even when you just put a single investment in. and how it even compounds more when you start early and continue to invest for a little while. So the idea is let compounding do its effect, invest your money, remember dollar cost averaging, try and invest every month, be consistent about it, and then you can see some growth, some great growth on your money. Until next time.